Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're really digging into a sector that's changing fast because of the trucking industry, specifically how artificial intelligence, AI and automation are shaking things up in 2025. We've got this great guide here that focuses on using these technologies for, well, actual business growth in trucking. So our goal today is to pull out the really important bits, kind of demystify the tech, and see how it's actually making a difference on the ground. Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, let's do it. And the mission, I think, is to show exactly how these cutting-edge tools link directly to making more money, saving serious cash, and just running things way more efficiently. What's really fascinating, is how these technologies, which sound pretty complex, are actually being simplified. They're being deployed to solve like real-world problems in what's, let's face it, a very traditional industry. It's all about growth, savings, and efficiency.
That accessibility angle is super important. So let's start simple. How does our source define AI and automation? Just so we're all on the same page. Okay, AI first. Maybe not a robot brain exactly, but think of it more like a super smart system that learns from tons of data. It gets good at spotting patterns, making predictions, and helping people make better decisions faster. So in trucking, that means things like, planning better routes, saving fuel, even predicting when a truck might break down.
Right, and that learning aspect is key. It's constantly getting smarter.
Then you've got automation. This isn't really about robots driving trucks just yet, not mostly anyway. It's more about setting up systems for those repetitive tasks. Once you set them up, they just kind of run themselves. Think like putting parts of your business on autopilot.
Exactly, like a dishwasher, sort of. You load it, press start, and it does the job reliably. And that reliability, that consistency, that's why these things are catching on so fast. It's about practical application. And like you said, it's not just for the mega fleets anymore. These tools are genuinely useful, whether you have like 2 trucks or 200. They're making advanced stuff usable for everyone.
Yeah. Okay, definitions covered. So where does the source say this tech makes the biggest splash first? Like the most obvious impact for truckers. We all hate traffic, right? So how does AI route planning go beyond, say, just using Google Maps on your phone? What's the real difference companies are seeing?
Yeah, route planning. That's where AI really makes a difference in logistics. It takes all the usual stuff, real-time traffic, weather forecasts, road construction, delivery windows, but then it adds layers that are, frankly, impossible for a person to juggle effectively. Things like current fuel prices at different stations along potential routes. The AI algorithms chew through all this constantly changing data to figure out the genuinely fastest, safest, and most fuel-efficient path, and they keep recalculating.
So it's not just about avoiding a traffic jam, it's constantly finding the optimal way, considering everything. The source says less fuel wasted, faster deliveries, which makes customers happy, obviously, and maybe less stress for drivers, too, avoiding those surprise detours or roadblocks.
Absolutely. And the results can be pretty dramatic. The guide mentions a trucking company in Texas. They used AI route planners and managed to cut their delivery times by 20%.
Wow, 20%.
Yeah, think about that. That's like delivering 10 packages in the time it used to take for 8. And linking that to the bigger picture, it's not just speed for speed's sake. It means your operations become way more predictable. Customers know when to expect things. That builds trust.
Makes sense. Okay, let's talk about another huge cost, maybe the biggest for trucking companies, fuel. How does AI tackle that specifically? What kind of savings are we really talking about here?
Fuel is definitely a monster expense. AI helps in a few ways here. It doesn't just find shorter routes, but smarter ones. It can suggest the best speeds for fuel economy. Maybe cruising at 65-mile-per-hour saves more than flooring it at 75, even if it takes a fraction longer. It also helps pick routes with fewer big hills or lots of stop-and-go traffic, which just guzzles fuel. And critically, it monitors idling time. When drivers leave the engine running while parked, AI systems can flag that excessive idling, which really adds up.
And the financial impact. The source mentioned a fleet in California.
Yeah, this was pretty eye-opening. A fleet there apparently saved $150,000 in 1 year just on fuel using these AI systems.
150 grand. Wow.
Right. It really shows how optimizing those small moment-to-moment decisions, speed here, route choice there, cutting down idle time, how they all add up to massive macro-level savings. It directly hits the bottom line.
It's like finding hidden money in your operations.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And that's capital you can then use for other things, better trucks, driver bonuses, you name it. Changes the game.
Okay. Beyond just making things run smoother and cheaper, what about preventing disasters? I mean, an unexpected truck breakdown is a nightmare, right? Expensive repairs, missed deadlines, customers get mad. How does this predictive maintenance thing work with AI?
Predictive maintenance is Honestly, one of the coolest applications. It shifts things from fixing breakdowns after they happen to preventing them before they start. It works by using sensors already on the truck, monitoring engine health, tire pressure, brake wear, oil levels, battery voltage, all that stuff, continuously. This fire hose of data gets fed into AI models that are trained to spot tiny, subtle warning signs, things driver might not notice or that wouldn't show up on a standard check.
So like a tiny vibration pattern changes or a temperature starts creeping up just a little bit, the AI flags it.
Exactly, it flags it early.
Yeah.
So the maintenance team gets an alert saying, hey, component X on truck 123 is showing signs it might fail in the next, say, 500 miles.
Which means they can schedule the repair proactively, like during planned downtime.
Precisely.
Mm.
Fix it before it actually breaks down on the side of the highway. The source gives a great example.
Yeah.
A Midwest company used these AI alerts and cut their truck downtime by 40%.
40% less downtime.
Yeah. That means more trucks are actually out there hauling freight and making money instead of sitting dead in a repair shop costing money. It's about keeping your assets working.
Makes total sense. We've talked a lot about the trucks and the routes, but what about the customer side? Dealing with inquiries, booking shipments, that takes up a lot of time too. How's automation helping there?
Good point. Customer interaction is vital, but yeah, it can be really time-consuming, especially for routine stuff. The guide highlights two main things here. First, chatbots. These are basically AI assistants, right?
Yeah.
They can handle those common questions instantly. 24/7. Where's my shipment? What are your hours? Bam. Instant answer. No waiting on hold.
Okay, so chatbots for the quick questions. What else?
The other big one is automated booking systems. Letting customers go online, get quotes, book shipments, track them all by themselves anytime. No need to call someone during office hours. It's self-service.
Right, which speeds things up a lot.
Hugely. The benefits are pretty clear. Way faster service for customers, lower labor costs because your staff aren't tied up answering the same basic questions over and over, and fewer mistakes like typos and booking info. There's an example of a New York trucking company. They brought in a chatbot, and customer wait times dropped by 80%. 80!
Wow.
And think about it, that frees up your human customer service team to handle the really complex problems, the special requests, the relationship building. It lets them focus on higher value stuff.
Okay, this all sounds good in theory, but let's talk results. The source mentions specific companies, right? Like Speedfleet Logistics. What did they do and what happened?
Yes, Speedfleet Logistics is a good case study. They went for both AI route planning and that predictive maintenance we talked about.
And the outcome?
Pretty impressive. They apparently saved around $200,000 in costs, and their
Right.
on-time delivery rate went up by 30%.
So saving money and improving service, that's the sweet spot.
Exactly. That's a serious competitive advantage right there.
Okay, and what about Easy Freight USA? They focused more on the customer service automation.
Right. Easy Freight went with the automated booking and the chatbots. The result was handling something like 90% of routine customer questions and bookings automatically.
90%.
Yeah. Which, again, didn't necessarily mean fewer staff, but it meant their staff could shift focus. They could handle more complex logistics planning, do more proactive outreach to key clients, essentially upgrade the quality of their human interaction.
These examples really drive it home. It's not just abstract tech.
Not at all. What's fascinating is how you see these different tools, route planning, maintenance, customer service bots, all leading to similar outcomes. Significant savings, better efficiency, happier customers. They're turning old challenges into new opportunities.
So wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway here for trucking businesses looking at 2025? What does our source really emphasize?
The core message seems to be pretty clear. In today's, and especially tomorrow's, trucking world, using AI and automation isn't really going to be optional anymore. It's becoming table stakes to stay competitive.
Right, it's becoming a necessity, not just a nice to have. Why? Because it means.
Well, fundamentally, it means saving real money on big costs like fuel and repairs. It means avoiding those costly delays and keeping your customers satisfied. It also means making smarter, faster decisions based on actual data, not just gut feelings, and handling more business without necessarily needing a ton more staff or overwhelming your current team.
And the source mentions a key benefit, that a lot of this works in the background.
Exactly. That's maybe the best part for busy owners and managers. These systems can hum along automatically, optimizing routes, monitoring trucks, handling basic questions. It frees you up to focus on the bigger picture, on actually growing the business, not just putting out fires.
Okay, so let's quickly recap the main tools we covered. First, AI route planning. Finds the best routes, saves time, cuts fuel costs. Makes sense. Second, fuel efficiency AI helps trucks use less fuel through smarter driving suggestions and route choices. Big savings there. Third, predictive maintenance gives you warnings before trucks break down. Fewer repairs, less downtime. Keeps things moving.
Uh-huh.
And fourth, chatbots and automated booking. Handle routine customer stuff automatically. Faster service, lower admin costs.
Yep, those are the big ones highlighted.
The final word from the guide seems to be, don't fear the tech, use it, master it, and drive your trucking business forward. Seems like solid advice.
It really does. And maybe a final thought to leave folks with. If embracing this tech today is the key to a stronger, smarter trucking business tomorrow, what does this kind of widespread automation mean for the future of jobs and logistics? And maybe more broadly, how could these same ideas about using data and automation apply to other traditional industries you might be involved in? Something to think about.